So I'm here at Martinshaw Wood in Leicestershire, and I'm looking for the autumn colour or fall colour. It's a place that people alike come, dog walkers, mountain bikers, and of course photographers. So join me and let's have a look, see what we can get.
Taking over this town, they should worry. But these problems aside, I think I taught you well. That we won't run, and we won't run, and we won't run. And in the winter night sky, ships are sailing, looking down on these bright blue city lights.
So while I was just wandering around, I've come across this scene. It's got this pathway which leading into this beautiful woodland, and what I'm going for is to try and get some of this light breaking through. So I'm on the widest lens that I have other than the fisheye. It's the Canon L series 17-40 EF f4 lens. It's probably the most cheapest L lens in the series, and it's nice and wide. The only problem is with it, I find that we do get some distortion in the corners. So being aware of that, I shall work on that today and try and improve on that diffraction. It's quite dark, so I'm really pleased I bought my best friend the tripod. And let's have a look, see how we go. Light's just starting to break through now, and we'll have a play. So I've come across this quite dense area of woodland with quite a heavy canopy, although the bottom part of it, all the needles and all the twigs and branches have all fallen, and they're just laying all over the floor, leaving this sort of brown carpet. But at the top, everything's still green. So the composition I've found is this fallen tree and how it's leaning up, and if it weren't for the fact that at the top they've still got that canopy, that tree would have fallen. But it's as if the other ones were all holding it up. So I've got my composition set up now, and I'll go over the settings with you. I'm shooting right out at 17. I'm at a 1/6 of a second because it's just so dark, so I'm so glad I brought this tripod. I'm at f4, which again is wide open for this lens, and I'm at an ISO of 200. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the self timer on and see how that goes. And that way I can just step away from there. I'm not over enthusiastic about this image, although I do like it. I think I just need to change my composition slightly to the left, because what I've got is two stumps, two old tree stumps, which is leading us in to the image, and with all these dead trees, there's the click. That's better. I'm more happy with that. Right. I'll tell you what we'll do. Because of the nature of this image, I think it won't hurt to go in a vertical shot. Although I'm not a massive fan, we'll give it a go. So now, in the vertical image, I'm cutting out one of the tree stumps. Okay, so there's your tree stumps. And in this vertical image, we've just got this one. I'll stick it on live view, see if it comes up. So we've just got the one tree stump now, leading us in with the fallen tree. So that took the shot. So we'll just pop out of there. And there's the shot. I mean, I suppose what I could also do is just tilt up. But again, I'm trying to just watch that distortion on this lens. So I'm slightly tilting up, which in a way gives for a quite interesting picture, because although I'm not a real fan of, like, you know, when you see architectural photography and buildings are leaning backwards and forwards, I'm not a massive fan of that. But what's happening here is we have got some lean, and it looks quite good. So can't find my buttons. Nice. So I like that. So I've gone with that side, but I'm just going to have a look at this side. And that's... I'm on my CF card. I've got nothing to lose. I can take as many shots as I like. And that's what I'm doing. So I've took this side, straight up, straight out. And we'll see what it looks like. See which one I fare. So I've stumbled across this this fallen tree that's leaning against this other tree. It's not the other one that was in the first image, but it's a different one. And I think a nice shot might be it shooting up, leading us into the photograph. So let's see what we can do. Probably quite a strange shot, but nonetheless, we'll give it a go. So I've just stumbled across this scene. It's an old stump with moss on it, and it's going straight into the woods. See this old stump down here? But what I also like is the way the bracken's sort of covering it, and that ivy sort of weed thing growing around it, which it sounds like acorns are dropping, and either that or the squirrels are starting to attack. I think I want to show you on this tripod. So all you do is you pull these pins out, take the tension off the legs, bend them back, and I'm going to use this just to make sure it's really steady. And hopefully this will get me the composition I want. Oh yes.
There you go, alone, outside my window. I follow you from home, outside my window. I've been watching you alone. Now there you go.
So I've come to another dense area, but it's not as dense as the one before. There's a lot more light coming in now, and it's starting to be more camera friendly. So there's a shot I quite like, with the light now sort of breaking through the trees a little bit, it could make for a really nice shot. We'll give it a whirl. It's a little bit deeper in. So this is the place. It's this shot here. We've got this stump, which should work really nice because that's going to give us our foreground interest, and also this log that's laying down. And my guessing is that this old trunk belonged to this old stump. I'm pretty sure. Now we've got some nice leading line, and it is just heading there, down there, that path. Look how it just goes through the trees, and it just feels like, to me, that goes on forever. And that's the shot I'm going to try and get today. If you look to the left, you can just see that light breaking through. I don't know if this camera's picking it up, but there's just some nice shards coming through. The moisture inside this woodland, I think, is starting to rise. As the morning's warming up, it's rising, and it's giving just some very faint shards of light, which I'm hoping I'll be able to bring out in Photoshop. Let's get the composition. We'll go for a 1 second exposure, f8. I've overexposed the scene slightly, just to try and bring out them shards of light. So I've overexposed by about 2/3 of a stop. And I think with a little bit of fettling in Photoshop, we'll get that nice. Let's take a look. So with just one more thing left to do before I call it a day. Of course, you know, the selfie. I've got to do it every time. So I've set the camera to a self timer of 10 seconds this time, because I am no Usain Bolt. I'm not getting over there in 2 seconds. So we set off for 10. Yeah, I'm just checking, and we'll do the selfie. So I hope you've enjoyed today's short film about shooting in the woods and trying to get some fall colour or autumn colour. And if you have, like the Facebook page, where there's a lot more stuff goes on there. There's normally an image probably 3 or 4 times a week, and you can find that in the banner at the top. There's a link to that. And if you like the channel, subscribe, and if you like the film, give us a thumbs up. And I'll see you on the next one. Oh, one more thing. Get out and shoot. Take care, cheers.
And a ghost upon my back, and the numbing sensation of everything I lack that leaves me dreaming, dreaming, dreaming.